history has been made in Canadian basketball. One hand down, all over the defense.
One-hand cockback.
Oh! Bringing the fans to their feet, putting a man in the rim. Ain't that awesome? Oh my Lord!
Welcome to the NPA on NPH.
We're back live, game 3 on the day. Deshaun Henry, I don't think has missed a jump ball in his lifetime.
Deshaun, one of the high flyers in this league. A lot of big time plays he's come up with. And the Hounds coming out real strong on the defensive end.
I think the Notre Dame Hounds see this as their first real opportunity to measure up, because this is the team that ended up in the national championship game in the London Basketball Academy, who ended up losing to Canada Top Flight Academy. So it's a measuring stick for the Hounds out of Wilcox, Saskatchewan.
And Notre Dame will have another game that will also prove to be a measuring stick against Crestwood, and that'll be played tomorrow. Catch that one at 12:15 p.m. That'll be game 17 of the weekend.
That will be Tarek or Nick Zeffy on the call alongside Elias. Combination of those three. As the battle in the capital continues, currently in day 3, game 10.
Street for Avery. Avery, street for goal. 14, so you put 24, 14, and go down 2. Extra Avery, corner, goal, step back. Goal shooting.
Two very well-coached teams as well. Head coach Adam Huffman to our left, Angelo Provenzano to our right, who was masterful last year and somehow getting through the national tournament with just 8 players. Denzel Cummins with the rock. Loses it on his way to the rim. Hounds are going to take over the possession.
James Madison University sitting front and center.
Nice pass. Avery Hutchinson, who has been maybe the surprise thus far in this tournament. A guy who coming in, none of us really were talking about, at least, may have been thinking about him, but he has been very, very impressive for this Hound squad.
I couldn't agree more. He's a huge relief ball handler for this squad. Be able to take some of the load off of Fofo's shoulders. Cole Newkirk way off the mark. That was the first 3 of the tournament, of the entire event for him.
Cummins into the corner. Not even close. The Elias special right there. He loves him some air balls. Stewing to my
I can't
right.
watch another one.
Stewing. Deshaun Henry. Interesting matchup there with Henry giving up so much size to Josh and Kumsa, that matchup.
Now he wins in the speed category though.
Yeah.
If he can get him to come outside of the paint, he'll be able to beat him off the dribble.
Eight-second call.
Jay, second side.
It's interesting because the clock was at 13.
Make sure we stay on the top one. Go, second side.
I think that might have been a clock issue.
Jay Carter, second side.
Shuffle the feet. Both teams trying to feel things out here in the early going. Just over 2 minutes into this game.
Go up the lane, don't stand next to him.
Avery trying to check. Okay, Jam Goose. Jam Goose and Cummins playing a little bit of point for LBA. Interchangeable at the position between the 1 and the 2, and there's Cummins.
I thought that was an interesting matchup with Shoal Ayak covering Cummins. Ayak, just one of the great athletes in this league, but Cummins didn't care. Shot it right in his grill and cashed it. Ayak trying to get that back. Gets his own rebound. Nice pass. No finish, and Kumsa comes down with it. Cummins. The only problem that I have with Denzel Cummins is for some reason the shoelace seems to come untied very regularly for that young man. Kumsa working down low on Henry. Really good defense, and when I heard the whistle, I was wondering what the call was going to be, and it was a travel call. The ref getting it right. With the ball right now, Ade Falarin, Ade again. A specimen at the point guard spot. But they've been able to play him off the ball with Avery Hutchinson playing so well. Pull up. That looked good. Bounced out.
And the rotation on his shot's gotten a lot better as the elbows kind of been cleaned up and tightened.
You know, I was speaking about how impressed I was with Cummins in that first game, and I think Adam Huffman feels the same way, putting Shoal Ayak on him. Denzel Cummins has ice water in the veins. He does not care who's on him. He's now launched 2 over top of one of the most athletic guys on the floor right now in Shoal Ayak. There we go again. Cummins with 6 of his team's 8 points. Gets to the rim, he's gonna shoot 2 more. This kid's impressive.
Had a big game last night as well. Although they ended up in a loss, from an individual performance standpoint, Cummins was incredible.
I felt the same way. You know what the first thing he said to me? I had a bad 4th quarter though, and that's why we lost it.
Wow, that's accountability right there. I can respect that. I can appreciate that.
But in that first half, I mean, he did absolutely everything you could ask for from any position on the floor, and he did it from the point guard spot, taking charges, hitting threes, getting to the lane. Ooh, nice pass. You can start to see what this team is becoming now that they've been able to play together for a full season. Seem to really know where each other are at all times. Ayak comes away with it. Jashawn Henry.
No surprise there, 2-hand jam.
He can elevate so quickly.
Pretty sure he signs with a 2-hand jam.
Deshaun 2 hands Henry. Tied at 9, 5,
Yeah, sir.
12.
Can we get your John Hancock here? Bam!
Greg Wint. The first check-in for the Hounds. You've mentioned before, that's the difference with this squad. They can go deep into their bench without much of a drop-off. Driving kick from Cummins.
Good decision. Good decision on the attack.
Zach Cunnybear with the layup. Ooh. Fofo.
Got away with it.
Yeah. Maybe they counted it as a dribble off his head. Into the corner. Wint. Not even close. There he is again. Avery Hutchinson. Right man, right place, right time. Ties this game at 11. And you hear the game plan from Coach Huffman. Crowd him. They're talking about Okai Jamgoose. Little backdoor cut. That's always the way to get around people being crowded, right? Henry's gonna pull up. Wint trying to come down with it, but it's LBA controlling the boards. Timeout with 4:05 left. First quarter has been everything we expected. Tight games so far. Stay with us. The battle in the capital, day 3.
Yet again, a 10-point advantage restored for Team Blue. Oh! It's Judy Charges throwing it down!
Welcome to the NPH live broadcasting experience. Allow our team of video technicians to capture your event in high definition. Streaming directly on all NPH media platforms. Up-to-the-minute live game coverage featuring professional commentators and analysts.
Tip in! No good! 2 seconds to go! Oh!
Commercial spots available to promote and market your brand, event, or product. Enjoy the ultimate way to catch the game when you can't.
That man from Quebec can fly!
Exposure starts here.
Rothsay Netherwood, better known as RNS, will enter its second season in the National Preparatory Association. Head coach Damien Gay will need leadership from his 4 seniors in order to continue to build on the program's solid foundation, which now has some added pieces to it. NCAA prospect Shaheem Malcolm made the move from Toronto to New Brunswick, and the lengthy guard is sure to make a splash in his new home. While Canadian national champion Kellen Tynes continues to earn high praise as the highest level prospect out of Canada's East Coast since fellow guard and Dartmouth native.
4:05 left. 13-11. It's a good game to tune into if you're looking for some Canadian players that maybe you have yet to been able to see. A lot of high-level talent on the floor right now. And really just 2 good teams. When it comes down to it, you can talk about individual matchups all you want, but good basketball is good basketball. And that's what we're seeing here early.
Can't say the same about that pass that was passed at Cummins' feet.
It's bad timing. It was bad timing with what I was saying to see that pass.
Ends up in the backcourt for a violation.
A Dave Falar and a date again to Avery Hutchinson. Greg Wint looking for Kahinka down low, but not going to happen. So Hutchinson's going to use the screen, finds Fofo. Looks so good coming off his fingertips, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's like we said a little bit earlier, he's managed to perfect the shooting form. And the mechanics is really half the battle. The rest is reps. He's got a lot of reps off this summer.
Cummins has it blocked by Hutchison. Back the other way. They were going to call that a goaltend possibly, but it went in anyways, as Avery Hutchison continues his coming out party here in the battle in the Capitol. First time I've said the name today, Okai Jamgoose into the corner. I think he's been on that scouting report of head coach Adam Huffman. Refs, I think we're looking at each other, waiting for each other to call it, and eventually one of them blew the whistle. That was an over and back.
Yeah, and it was a controlled tip into the backcourt. The only thing that I thought it wasn't a backcourt violation is because he didn't have both feet established back there. It was one in front and one in the back. I'm not sure how that rule plays out in that specific situation.
Kahinka. Backing down, and Kumsa tries to find Fofo on the cut. No good. Jamgoose. Hutchison called for the foul. Akeem Olak at the line for LBA. Hits the first to bring LBA back to within 2. Splits a pair. First time I've said this name today, Kur Jokac. Came down with it but couldn't clean up the mess. Nice shot. That's his game.
That guy could let it off at any time. He should not be left open on the perimeter.
It's Carter Kahinka we're talking about.
A prime target for the University of Calgary, who's already offered him a spot.
Denzel Cummins. Outside of his one shot being blocked, he has been pure since he stepped in the gym today.
He's 3 for 4 from 3.
Oh, nice fake by Wint. Got Nkumsa to bite. Gets it back. Misses again. Loose ball is up for grabs. Kur comes down with it. Gets fouled. The last time out, Adam Huffman said, "You're being outworked." And it looks to be continuing here for the Hounds. Denzel Cummins, 2 of them. 2 Hounds meet him at midcourt. Nkumsa surveying the defense. Kick out. Okai Jamgoose. No good. 106 left. First quarter's been everything we expected. Tight game, 19-17 for the Hounds of Notre Dame.
And Notre Dame started the game with a lot of pressure, and they seem to have sagged off a little bit.
Hutchison comes out with a nice look. Avery Hutchison stuffing the stat sheet. Ooh, almost came up with a steal there. Cummins slicing, dicing. Couldn't get that roll. Guess who comes down with it? Smallest man on the floor, Denzel Cummins.
And the Hounds have studied this team.
No, that one was just off. You saw it. Just didn't look as pure as the last few. And Jashawn Henry doing what Jashawn Henry does. Taking it right in the mouth of the defense. 6-point lead, 5 on the clock. Cummins gets over half court. Fofo gets it, takes it. Oh, it was halfway down. Ade Falar and Ade again thought he had it. A 6-point lead for the Hounds after 10 minutes. Stay with us. We'll be back. Tell your friends we got a game.
Lindell Wigginton. Halifax Prep out of Nova Scotia is following in the footsteps of their maritime brethren, RNS, as they enter their first season in the NPA. They will be led by standout point guard Cairo Berry, who is expected to log heavy minutes as the engine of this team on both ends of the floor. Like any expansion team, growing pains are to be expected, but there is no better experience than being thrown into the NPA fire. The St. Laurent Express has a storied basketball history that they're looking to bring to the NPA. The next wave of Quebec talent includes Ben Datro, who can score in bunches from every spot on the floor and is always a threat to simply take over a game. While the man in the middle for St. Lo goes by the name of Trayvon Minot. Armed with the hard work mentality needed to clean up the mess in the paint, Minot also has the skill and soft touch to get buckets on his own. The Express boasts a roster full of high character type players that are needed to vie for a national title, and they all have that same chip on their shoulder that Quebec ballers do. Everyone needs to respect the Q. The team to beat out of the Northeast Division is the same squad the entire NPA is gunning for. Canada Top Flight Academy is the reigning, defending, and first ever high school aged national basketball champions in Canadian basketball history. Much of the same team returns to the floor this season, including a more physically mature Moon Reith, who is now a matchup nightmare, standing at 6'7".
23-17 for the Hounds in red on your screen. London Basketball Academy got to inbound it. Ooh, just in time. The ref started the count. Kumsa well out. Hands it off to Cummins. 14 on the shot clock. A little hand check. No. Moving screen on Cummins.
And the Notre Dame Hounds have studied this team very well. They watched all the game film. They know that Okai Jamgos is a guy that they're going to have to really key in on and not allow to set himself up for threes. They've done a good job of that here. And instead, it's been Cummins who's delivered from the three-point line. And here's Fofo. Nothing but net. He's 3 of 3. Yeah, no, he missed one. He missed one. Sorry, 3 of 4 from the three-point line.
Answers.
The specialist back at it.
OD.
You know what's crazy about his shot, Jay? It's not that he just makes a lot. It's they don't touch anything about the net.
Yeah. That's what I mean. The most I can compare it to, and again, I'm not saying that Okai will get to the level, but it's just most similar to Steph Curry. The release, the arc, and the finish. And like the misses even look good most of the time.
Way off the mark by Hutchinson, but Greg Wint cleans up for Notre Dame.
Every one of these Hounds players, you know, they play their role so well. It's a sign of a good team, possibly a great team eventually.
Ooh, sweet block by Fofo. That's a jump ball. It's going to go the other way.
Don't forget to change the arrow, please. Hang on. Can't see him. Come on in.
Kur Jokic back in the game for LBA. $1:20 gone here in the second quarter. 28-20 for the Hounds. Again. Travel on a date again. LBA with a chance to chip away at this 8-point lead. The Hounds just slowly adding to it. Big man to big man, Kurdu and Kumsa. Into the lane, kick out, Fofo. Hard dribble in, Wint. Head and shoulder fake, gets to the rim, foul called to go to the line to shoot 2.
I like what Carter did off the dribble there. Faked on the first one before he started the penetration. Normally he's just spot up, catch and shoot. At the next level, when you're being scouted on a nightly basis, you got to have more to your package. When you're one-dimensional, it takes away from how long you could be on the floor.
It's interesting, on our sight line, just past the free throw line, I see Amir Hossein Rahimzad having a chat with his fellow countryman from Iran. And they're just talking about the game, and you can tell that Rahimzad is using this game as an opportunity to teach his younger countrymen the North American game here. Just love to see that. It's not always what's happening on the floor. The game of basketball is lovely in that way, always an opportunity to teach. And the Hounds trying to capitalize. Fofo skying for that rebound. Arms for days, this kid.
Black 7, hold.
7:47 to go in the second quarter. The Hounds knocking on the door of a double-digit lead. Hutchison dribbles his way back out, pass it off to Fofo. Finds his boy Deshaun Henry, who's gone silent the last couple of minutes. He's fouled to the line, shooting 2.
Hey, defense, we need to talk. Let's go.
Henry gets them both. 11-point lead now for the Hounds. Ooh, that's a travel. Timeout. Angelo Provenzano has seen enough. 7:44 to go. The Hounds are pumped in the nation's capital.
British Columbia Christian Prep brings the most international flavor of any team in the National Preparatory Association, and with that comes an air of mystery surrounding this team. Veteran head coach Doug Dowell returns many of last year's players, which will give him a rotation of highly skilled players with prep experience already under their belt. Team leader and NCAA prospect Marajan Obad is expected to star on the West Coast this season, and he's joined on the front line by fellow big man Sammy Hunter from the Bahamas. Hunter spent his summer playing with the national team of his homeland and also took part in the NBA's Basketball Without Borders, collecting NCAA offers from coaches who love his skill in the paint. The Panthers have added even more depth with young players from across the globe looking to leave their mark on the Canadian basketball landscape, and there's no better place than the NPA. The Notre Dame Hounds out of Wilcox, Saskatchewan quickly went from underdogs to up-and-comers in the NPA's debut season, and they continue to trend upwards thanks to their roster's evolution. Carter Kahinka is a prototypical stretch 5, but he has added to his inside game, while Saskatchewan native Cole Newkirk will also be banging bodies in the...
Back to live game action. Fofo. Nice little move underneath the rim for an easy 2 off the inbounds. Jamgoose, Cummins behind the back, losing Wint. Kor Jokic back to Cummins. They've already burnt 10 seconds off the shot clock. Down low in Kumsa. Advantage over top of Fofo, but faded away. Air ball. Nice pass, Deshaun to a date again. Can't finish. Cummins bouncing off the contact. Gets the whistle.
Good work by him being aggressive today. Just forcing the Hounds to foul.
Foul on LBA. Didn't see that. Hutchison running off the Kahinka screen. Finds a date again. He felt good about it. He's off the mark though. Loose ball. No over and back. Kahinka. Range. Cummins. Push it back the other way for LBA. Coming up with the steal. Oh, just out of the reach of Dadigan. The Hounds had an opportunity to put a little bit more breathing space between themselves and LBA, but couldn't capitalize. And Kumsa stepping out. Kumsa has not had the touch on his stroke. Kaur saves it out of bounds off of Deshaun Henry.
Coors activity level today, it's similar to what we saw from him in the first half yesterday against Central Tech. It's just a matter of whether he's got the stamina to be consistent throughout a game, because they really need that from him. They really need a guy that can help and Kumsa, secure some rebounds. And that's not him right there. That's not what he does. He should not be on the perimeter.
Hutchison initiating the offense. Henry feeds it into the paint. Greg Wint invites contact. No whistle, but he'll still get 2 off glass. Wow, the Hounds really having their way on offense. Ooh, Cummins has it picked off. Wint again. Greg Wint has come off the bench and provided a spark. These Hounds run deep, 37-20. Almost at the midway point of the second quarter. We'll be back to Ottawa, Ontario, the battle in the capital, brought to you by North Pole Hoops.
Looking to make an impact in his senior season. But the most intrigue surrounds the Hounds duo of Deshaun Henry and Adafalaran Adedigan, better known as Fofo. Both players are supreme athletes that are now taking the step to become next-level basketball players. Both Henry and Fofo decided to stay at home in favor of 2-a-day workouts instead of the travel-heavy schedule of the AAU grind. The results will be seen in their physical transformations as they both continue to work towards their goal of an NCAA scholarship. Could this be the perfect storm for promising young head coach Adam Huffman to shock the country with a national title? Stay tuned to the NPA to find out.
.5:33 to go. We're back live in Ottawa. Adam Huffman's squad has pushed the lead to 17 in the timeout. I had an opportunity to have a listen, a little sideline reporting. And he said he's going to roll with this group a little longer who's built this lead. But he looked at his bench and said, you better be ready when you come in, because you're coming up next. So it'll be interesting to see how the second half of this second quarter plays out. Cummins slicing, dicing, bouncing off people. Can't get it to go.
It seems to me like Cummins is actually taking on the role of what Jalen Warren was last year to LBA.
Yeah.
Except for just a little less, a lot less actually, trash talking.
Jalen Warren talked a lot?
Oh, come on. You're the master of sarcasm, you know that, right? No. And there it is again. Did you know that sarcasm is the lowest form of comedy?
Did you know that I've been sarcastic my entire life and I've continued to live in the sewer of comedy and I will not stop?
Hey, it's gotten you this far.
Exactly, right? It gets me through life, pal.
Then I'll run with it.
5:07 to go, 37-20. If you're in the Ottawa area, you want to come down, we're at 710 Broadview Avenue. Still got a lot of good basketball ahead of us, including the hometown Canada Top Flight Academy taking the floor around 7:30 tonight. Deshaun Henry just got thrown to the floor. So if you're in the Ottawa area, come by for some high-level basketball. Also, if you're in the Ottawa area and you happen to see Tarek Sabet, send him to the gym.
Oh,
we need some refreshments.
There we go. We just got him.
On time, on target.
I'm actually talking to you about Jake hitting the floor, and you're not running over to help him. I don't care about those free throws.
His four.
You hit those, man. That's like
Nice shot, Bo. Hey, now let's get back on defense. Get those 2 points back.
Adam Huffman getting into Avery Hutchison. Did not like the fact that he did not pick up Deshaun Henry from the floor. We have some outstanding coaches across the nation and more. Sorry, and you could say that about the NPA as well. I mean, we have great coaches coast to coast in general at every different level, but the NPA has some of the best. Love what I'm hearing, being able to be around these coaches for the last couple days here on the sidelines. Every one of them have a different style. They all have the kids' interest first.
And just different personalities,
Yep.
different types of delivery.
Yep. And, you know, each of their teams respond to it a different way. You know, they recruit and bring in players that fit the coaching style as well. I just said off camera, though, if I could pick my coach, Adam Huffman would be my head coach. Just Sean Henry.
I'm a Kevin Jeffers type of guy myself.
I love Kevin Jeffers, but I could not have him be my coach. I think he would break me in a couple of weeks. I would take up golf. I'd be out of the game of basketball. Denzel Cummins finds Josh Nkumsa, who has just not had the touch today. Maybe that'll help get the big man going. Still a 17-point lead right now. Greg Wint has been impressive for the Hounds. Here come the reserves that I mentioned before, where Coach Huffman wanted them ready. Sholayak in the game, Cole Newkirk as well. You can add Diaz Legrone to that list. Kai Jamgoose has been silenced by this Hounds defense.
They've keyed in on him big time, and they can't run the same plays for him that they have been.
And here he is running off the screen. Avery Hutchison has been that guy today. It's funny, I watched him on the one side. After Okai passed the ball off, Hutchison just shoved him in the chest. Running off the screens, Hutchison left him alone, jumped the lane, got in there before the ball could get to the sharpshooter, Okai Jamgoose.
They've executed really well on the defensive end against this LBA squad.
It just seems like Denzel Cummins can get to the rim no matter what the defense throws at him. Angelo Provenzano getting a little amped up on the sidelines there with the foul call. .3:14 to go. Cummins, little change of direction. That was quick time. He's trying to dance on Sholayak. Ayak said, I've already seen you hit 3 in my grill. Not this time, kid. Fofo. Hop, skip, and jump through the lane. Can't finish. Stephen Lindsay in the game for the first time this weekend, or sorry, this week for LBA. 4 games over 4 days. They need to play everyone. Jamgoose has Hutchison right up in him. I think we have to give, we've given a lot of credit to Avery Hutchison on the offensive end, but we also have to say on the defensive end, he has been the guy who's had the clamps down on Okai Jamgoose here in the first half. You know, a 16-point lead would probably be closer to 5 or 6 if Okai could get loose to do what he does, which is shoot out the lights, but has not happened. Still a lot of game left, though. We saw it yesterday. Jamgoose was silent for the second and third quarters and then lit it up in the fourth.
And I would agree with you on Hutchinson. I mean, he's perhaps the best addition for Notre Dame. There he is on the feed. Excellent throughout all the games we've seen him here.
LBA just cannot get the offensive game going. Sholayak going with the no look. So the ball disappears behind the National Preparatory Association backdrop. Only 24 points for LBA. And you have to give credit where it's due. This is a Hounds defense that's doing this. This isn't LBA, struggling with open shots. They can't find their groove because the Hounds are all over them. Jamgoose trying to push off, trying to get it back. There's Fofo getting after it, running into James Madison there along the baseline. Jamgoose trying to get himself an open look. Under a minute to go, LBA trying to get some positivity going before the half is out. Dadigan comes out with it, pushing up court, 40 seconds to go. Sholayak kicks out corner, nice ball movement. Hutchison takes it, finds a cutting Fofo, who hasn't been able to really finish at the rim off those cuts today.
I'm a big fan of the extra pass, and that's something that the Notre Dame Hounds do very well. They pass up on good shots for better shots. We're just a very unselfish team.
6 on the shot clock. Kick out. Jumper. It's good. Ahmad Othman. Hutchison back the other way with 3 on the clock. Ayak. That's in range for Scholl. Can't get it to go. A 16-point lead. The Hounds doing it all. Hanging their hat on defense, getting it done on offense. Stay with us. We'll be back. Second half action. Game 3 of 7. The battle in the Capitol is going down.
I wanna fly, can you take me far away? Give me a star to reach for, tell me what it takes, and I'll go so high, my feet won't touch the ground. Just hitch my wings and pull the strings. I bought these strings that all fall down.
The nice thing about him is he's a basketball player. There is no position defined for him. He's learning the skills. He's learning the skills of playing the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and guard at all the positions.
The last thing what makes RJ Jr. so special is that he wants to be special. He's willing to do the work to become special. He's open to learning. He has his flaws like everyone else does, but he recognizes his flaws. He knows to keep working on them. And he's never satisfied even with his own strengths as a basketball player. So that's what makes him special.
Number 7, Roman Barrett Jr.
Oh, that's my boy. He never stopped seeking to amaze me. And when we were in the game, like, I could tell what he was gonna do. I was like, he's my boy. I'm gonna just let him, show out. So, but the chemistry's really good. We're roommates right now and everything. So.
I call him a professional scorer. That's definitely going to translate to the NBA game. He is relentless on getting around you and getting to the basket and getting to the foul line. And that's what I respect about him. I'm a huge fan of his.
That's all. Okay, showtime.
RJ making the splash takes his rightful throne at number 1, and I think regardless of class, he would have been there anyways. Maybe even number 1 in North America, let alone the Canadian rankings. Was the leading scorer in the most competitive league in the world at the amateur level. At 6'7", a guy that's playing 2 and 1, that's a deadly combination.
I wanna fly, can you take
I mean, I think the first thing with RJ is he has goals, right? He has goals that he's set out, that he's driving for. So that's always great, right? Because all you ever really have to do is continue to focus him towards the goals he set. If you're trying to achieve the things that he is, I think that he's a hard worker, he's been a consistent worker, and oh, here he comes. Oh. Yes. Yeah.
Being number one in the world, you know, there's no conversation about it, there's no discussion about it. But what's next for you? What are your goals?
Pretty simple, go to college and go to the NBA and be a star.
Well, Central Tech, it's the historic look, that castle feel. It's a gauntlet. You walk past and you just, whoa, you look up, and the reputation that comes with it, it has that feel, it has that effect. Being in downtown Toronto, it is what it is. You're gonna get everything, right? So all the distractions are gonna happen, all the excitement's gonna be there, any little thing happens in school, it's newsworthy because you're a downtown school, right? So we have to get past all those distractions and focus in and dial in what we're supposed to do inside this gym. Do we play with a chip? We make it so.
We're a grit and grind team. Like, we're like underdogs. So like, we play like, even though we're up 20, we play like we're down 20.
We try to break the neck of the other teams. Once we have our foot on the gas, like, we try not to let go. If you're a hard worker, if you have nothing to lose, if you're gonna put it all on the line every night, then you could come play on Central Tech.
I'm praying that they take on my personality. I got a smile and I laugh and I joke outside of the game, but inside the game, I'm yelling, I'm screaming, and I'm fierce. And that's how we're developing right now.
Stop relying on what we did in the years past or the games past. It's now, yes?
And when we get to be that, tenacious group, that loud group, that aggressive group, great things happen.
That style and structure is making Central Tech a destination basketball school for players like Matthew Daves, who joined the Blues for his senior season.
I knew the coaches and I knew how their style of training was. And I thought that I'd fit in here well. It just brings up like a certain tone to how I'm doing everything. So like every single rep is more important now. Being Filipino, it's a bit different. Like, people look at me a different way when I'm playing. They're not gonna see someone like me, like an Asian person, play the way that I play usually.
How do you play?
I'm in the air a long time, just to say that.
In Season 2 of the National Preparatory Association, Jeffers will look to his returning seniors to lead the team on and off the court, which also prepares them for the next level.
Me being the oldest, it puts a lot of responsibility on my back, because coach, he tells me to always watch out for the guys, make sure everyone's good. Because after I leave here, coaches on other schools, they look at the kind of person you are off the court before on the court. They want to know what you could do in school. They want to know what you could do in a group of people if you're going to be communicating. All my friends back home, they really think I've changed a lot, and they said it's for the better too.
Coach Jeffers is an amazing guy. Taught me a lot because he's been coaching me since young, been watching me play growing up, playing basketball at the community center. And he just been there for me. Changed me a lot because before I wasn't really doing the stuff that I need to do to go to the next level. Since I came here, I started getting the support, the help that I needed to succeed, school-wise and basketball-wise. He prepares me to be a man.
The good will follow the good, the bad will follow the bad. But if people see the good in you, they're gonna make sure and push you to that stream. Central Tech is labeled. It's no chance that I'm here trying to change that label, try to bring forward a better understanding of who it is and what this school is about.
SJK out of Waterloo, Ontario will have some size on a roster that will take some time to come together. Milan Rauknic will be in a starring role for a team that will bring grit and toughness to every game that they play, while Alex Novicic has some great footwork and range to put on display with his 6'7" frame. Beast Prep stands for Basketball Evolution Academic Specialized Training. Combo guard Matt Green will be running the show for the crew out of Hamilton, Ontario, and will be pushing the tempo for a squad that promises no easy games. The basketball culture in Hamilton is one that is often in the shadows of the basketball-loving fans in the city, but that will start to change with the new addition to the NPA. GTA Prep struggled in their debut season in the National Preparatory Association, but former professional head coach David Cooper has made sure that will not happen again. Joshua Houghton has the type of bounce that has fans sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for something special. But don't let the hops fool you into thinking he's a one-dimensional player. His combination of high IQ and explosive skill set allows him to make everyone around him better. That will mean great things to the standouts from last season, including DeAndre Pierre, who has never had a problem finishing at the rim.
Woo! DeAndre Pierre all over the rim.
Having two high-level players will take some of the pressure off of AJ Lawson, even though he thrives when the game is on the line. Lawson's length, explosiveness, and improved jump shot has college coaches knocking at his door, but they will be lining up behind the Oregon Ducks, who already have an offer on the table. GTA Prep is back in the NPA to not only take part, they are back to try to take over. The London Basketball Academy surprised everyone but themselves as they made a run through the first ever NPA National Championship tournament to earn a berth in the gold medal game where some returning players made a name for themselves.
Cummins, that is
No
not
way.
the guy.
No way.
Cummins, tie game.
Oh!
What's the foul?
Cummins got the answer.
Denzel Cummins has earned the title of a dead-eye shooter that shines on the big stage.
Second half about to get underway. It's a 16-point lead for the Notre Dame Hounds. Their defense has been stellar, negating the sharp shooting of Okai Jamgus. It's really, the offense has been all Denzel Cummins. There's Jamgus running off the screen. It's the first time he's been able to find himself open running off the screen. Hutchison got caught up. Back the other way, Jashawn Henry. Jashawn Henry is a man. Ran into the biggest man on the floor, just bounced off him and kissed it off glass. I have a feeling that these Hounds are going to come out in this third quarter trying to step on the neck of LBA. I think they're going to be led by Jashawn Henry. Cummins trying to break this little press. Sholayak getting up on him. This is the best I've seen the Hounds look ever. Adam Huffman has these guys hungry, and they're off the leash here in Ottawa. Our first session of the season, the National Preparatory Association, brought to you by North Pole Hoops. Leads up to 21. Kur Jokic at the line. He's went fairly quiet here, considering how active he can be. Cashes them both to bring it back down to 19. Nice pass. One of the first times we've seen Avery Hutchison not finish in that shiny opportunity. Cummins calling it out. Finds Jokic. Back to Kur. And he has it pinned between the rim and the glass.
Help before the block, like be there. Avery, what was the normal approach? Yeah, we'll flip it.
Ade Falar and Ade again. Down low. Back out. Nyack has it poked away. Michael Mattis. Violation on the sidelines there. Leads up to 19. What can LBA do to try to correct things here?
I think they got to pressure the ball a lot more, as they are doing right now. Try to take away second chance opportunities as much as possible as well. LBA is going to have to find some other offensive options. Most of the plays that they've been running throughout early in the season have been set for Jamgos, but now that teams are starting to key in, that's all going to change. You got Kur Jakuc, Josh Nkamsa, Denzel Cummins, all of which are pretty good scoring options for this team. They just got to find a way to get it into the big man.
Cummins, who was really all the offense in the first half of this one, trying to get the rest of his team involved, getting these other threats that you'd mentioned, get them activated. Jamgoose, no good. Henry taking it hard to the rim. I mean, you've seen him take on the biggest guy on the floor. It takes two people to try to bring Deshaun Henry down. He's going to go to the line to shoot two.
I'm still reminiscing over that play when there was a jump ball and he lifted the guy with the ball right off the ground.
That was on the first day of our 5-game Ottawa session. 24 games, 12 teams nationwide across Canada, here in the nation's capital. Today, we've welcomed Beast Prep into town, along with Saint Laurent out of Quebec. We now have everyone here now with us. 12 of the 13 teams in the NPA. Henry Took on 2, why not take on 3? Jashawn Henry does not back down. You want heart, you want hustle. Throwing a little athleticism there. It's number 11 on your screen, Jashawn Henry. Nice box out on Cummins. Just drops the ball. He's not going to be happy with himself. And then Denzel Cummins doesn't back down from anyone either. He just does not seem to have an answer today. Can't do it all himself. LBA still trying to find the magic combination on offense. Still stuck under 30 points here, and we're almost midway through the third.
And where's it going to come from? You know, yesterday you had Denzel Cummins, who had 24 on his own. And there's been really no answer for Jashawn Henry. It's not just them not being able to find an answer offensively. It's they can't make a stop on Jashawn either.
Hand off to Mattis. It's got to make him feel a little bit better, getting something in transition. Hand off. And Dave Fuller and a date again to Henry. Toe on the line, long 2, no good. Hutchison to Fofo. Kick back out. Jashawn Henry took it into the body. Out of bounds. London Basketball Academy will get it back. So you creep up on the midway point of the third quarter. Game 3 of 7.
Nice roll, find him.
There's Denzel Cummins.
Pretty feel on that finish. Those are tough takes, man, coming up with the opposite arm and having to put a backspin on it to get it to go. And he's had quite a few of those today and yesterday.
He's making it look like that's the game plan, you know?
Right.
And I guess, you know, when you're that size and you're trying to finish within bodies, it's that old line, he's getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, right?
Yep. Denzel's been waiting on the moment to kind of show what he can do as a lead guard, and now with some of the guys moving on and graduating to another level, he's had that. Looks like it's going to be a push off here for the rebound, and that's going to be on Denzel.
Push.
And following this game, we'll have 2 new NPA teams as Halifax Prep takes on SJK.
And that'll be nice to see, because that'll be 2 teams still looking for their first wins of the NPA season. So one of them is going to come out of that feeling pretty good about themselves. And I really like what we've seen out of Halifax Prep, considering what they're working with. Just 8 guys on this trip. I mean, having said that, this LBA squad went all the way to the national championship final with 8 guys.
And did a dang good job with just that. Sometimes they got into some foul trouble and they had to, plug in some weaker pieces, but they always managed to be right in the mix.
That was really a perfect example of how good of a coach Angelo Provenzano is, pushing the right buttons at the right time, sitting players at the right time. Dave Fuller and a date again, taking it at the rim. Picks up the charge.
And he's got to continue to be aggressive. Continue to be aggressive and just find ways to maneuver around the defense. Mattis kind of anticipated that one. And Mattis is kind of rubbing his shoulder. It looks like he got hit by a freight train.
I was just about to say, man, like Fofo is just a ball of muscle. Like he ran into a guy he was giving up probably 6 inches to, and he came out feeling fine. It's the defender that was feeling it. Head coach Adam Huffman wants a timeout. Leads down to 18. He doesn't want to get any lower. The refs are going to come together and talk about it. Stay with us. We'll be back to let you know where we sit. 3:04 left in the third.
Pangos will shoot another three. His third triple already.
I'm a retired teacher. I coached at a whole bunch of different levels throughout the player delivery system in Canada. Involved myself at the provincial level as head coach of Team Ontario from 1994 to 97. Coached at the university level, University of Guelph for 7 years, high school coach, and I'm now an author. And I'm an author of a book called Can't Miss, a story about Kevin Pangos. But the angle that I'm bringing...
The refs got together and decided it was a jump ball. Adam Huffman said, okay, I don't need a timeout. I just need to tell my guys to stay on it because I don't want to see this lead get down any longer. The Hounds looking to stay undefeated in this trip to Ottawa, but they have quite a matchup on deck tomorrow against Crestwood. LBA getting it back.
It's been a little while since we've seen Kerr Jakush, assert himself once again from the rebounding standpoint.
Refs are going to come together, make sure they get everything right. Resetting the shot clock to 14. Sholayak, Hutchison, Kahinka, no. Cummins, kick out. Isaiah Lee, no good. Kur Jokic, down low. The LBA bench is up, down just 16. They're not going away, folks. Still a lot of time left in this game. LBA came back from a double-digit deficit against Central Tech yesterday, only to see their heart get broken at the buzzer by the assassin, Raheem Sullivan, who has a game that includes a floater, I've heard.
I think you heard it 4 or 5 times on that call from Tarek. Floater game! Floater game! And if you want to relive that moment, just go on North Pole Hoops Instagram or NPA Instagram and you'll hear it loud and clear. Raheem Sullivan's really building a name for himself using that floater. It is an excellent move for a guy his size to have in his arsenal. Anytime you get around among the trees, you want to be able to put it over the defense to avoid getting blocked.
Denzel Cummins really seems to be able to get to where he wants, when he wants. And Kumsa back in the game for the first time in a while. A lot of time on the bench to think about things. There he is, coming up with a tip to himself and the putback. It's amazing what can happen when you sit on the bench and watch the game for 8 minutes.
He's used to playing big minutes in the game, so either he's in foul trouble or coach is not happy with some of the decisions he's making.
Just hasn't had the touch today. Comes out, picks up a foul in the bonus now. Hounds going to the line, just Sean Henry. Henry's been pretty solid from the line today.
First we're seeing of Isaiah Lee as well.
Denzel Cummins. Oh! Sean Henry. Return to sender. Someone check that ball for a bruise.
That boy is a savage. Boggles my mind that he only has a St. Bonaventure offer on the table. Coaches, if you are watching, this is a mid-major level player that's going to be immediately effective. Yes, he does need to improve his jump shot, but there are so many transferable traits that he brings to the college level. His strength, his athleticism, his IQ. A very high character kid as well with good academics.
2018?
Coming out this year as a 2018. 6'5" small forward.
It's the worst shot we've seen from Greg Wint today. He has been on point, on target pretty much all game. These Hounds at every position, every player has really played to the best of their ability, as they built a 16-point lead with 44 seconds to go. Xavier Scott.
Good patience by Scott not to get, not to fumble that under pressure.
Wint, no good. Josh and Kumsa. Get off me. He's come off the bench, ready to ball. Adam Huffman winning over hearts of the referees here today. Fofo gets it back. Gets hacked by Nkumsa. He'll go to the line with 17.6 to go, up 16. The Hounds have weathered a little bit of a storm from LBA here. We've been able to stay in the lead comfortably.
And walking into the gym right now wearing the blue.
The Express.
The St. Laurent Express. This is a team that's going to shock a lot of people. Tallest guy walking into the gym at Trayvon Mino will be matched up with Casey Zagu, the big man matchup. Not sure yet if Ben Datro is going to play, but if he does, that is somebody to watch in the 2020 class. Very dangerous, PG, super explosive, super athletic, and has got a 3-ball.
Isaiah Lee finds Nkumsa trying to beat the buzzer. Big rebound to Sean Henry. Hutchison might have got off in time. The lead's at 17. Quebec is in the house. But on deck, we got SJK and Halifax Prep. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. We'll be back with fourth quarter action between the Notre Dame Hounds and the London Basketball Academy.
While the wide-bodied and skilled Josh Nkumsa will be even more dangerous this season, as he will slide to his natural position of power forward, while the addition of Okai Jamgoose will give this team a special look. Already on the radar for the Ivy League, this intelligent, high-character gym rat is a coach's dream. Armed with a skilled stroke, hard work in the offseason has helped Jamgoose move into the point guard role, where his 6'4" frame will be a matchup disaster for LBA opponents. But the element of surprise is gone for this team, as they go from the hunter to one of the hunted in the NPA's second season.
Let's keep it going. Keep the intensity high.
Get your feet square, get your feet square.
Take it home, write it down, grab a homie, and work on it. Work on it, master it.
AJ Lawson, go! He gets it to go! Wow! Pick it up, Jalen.
Oh my God!
Top 10, top 10.
Two-way players are the best players. Understand that. Two-way players are the best players.
Here's Sabri Phillip, two-hand jam!
Let's go, boy!
doesn't matter from what city you're from, how tall you are, what school, what club you're at.
We've traveled across the country.
Taking a look at the Hounds on the floor, just waiting for LBA to roll back out. Head coach Adam Huffman warned his team these guys have a run left in them. And also warned them that Denzel Cummins is the only guy who's able to break this press. So make sure you stay up on him, and that's Avery Hutchison currently on him, because Okai Jamgoose has found himself on the bench for the majority of this game.
Got to be able to impact the game in more than one way. When you're a specialist, that's one thing, but when they lock up on you, you got to add to it. And I'm sure that he's going to be hard on himself. That's just the type of player Okai is. Going to come into the next game going a little more north-south.
And Kumsa, another guy who's found himself on the bench and has been brought back in just recently. Cummins missed the shot, tries to pick the pocket of Henry, doesn't get it, and gets called for the foul on Hutchison. Cummins is getting close to foul trouble now. Under a minute into the fourth, we already have a timeout by Angelo Provenzano. Stay with us. We'll be back. Let's see what LBA can do to try to cut into this lead.
NPH Scouting Service. The NPH Scouting Service is another platform for exposure with a network of over 300 coaches and scouts from some of the most recognizable brands and programs. Our scouts are constantly evaluating talent to ensure accuracy and credibility.
Rep by rep. You push yourself. Effort is only half the battle. Doubt sets in. Why do you do it? Is it worth it? The lights turn on. All your questions are answered.
And now Penn goes from straight away. Hit another three. His sixth of the first half.
I think the biggest thing about Kevin, highly skilled, but his values are very, very solid. Home-schooled value sort of thing. His grandparents taught him a lot. His uncle taught him a lot. Bill and Patty, his parents, taught him.
Let's see what that early timeout does for the London Basketball Academy. Trying to figure out what they're looking to do offensively. They've gone big with both Madison and Kumsa. It looks to be what they're doing to try to feed it down low, but the entry pass had a little to be desired there. Wint in transition. Isaiah Lee called for the foul.
Isaiah Lee just not having a good day today. Seems to be very frustrated. Started off with hitting his head off that Jashawn Henry swat. And as a teammate went to pick him up there, he just kind of brushed him off.
Avery Hutchison. The coming out party. It's been impressive. They're in trouble. They're not going to get it over. This Notre Dame defense has been hounding LBA at every turn. Kind of feel like there's like this goal of the Hounds to keep LBA under 50 in this game. Hutchison. Sean Henry shuffled his feet, was waiting for that call.
And Hutchison was a little bit of a late addition to Notre Dame, but has proven to be one of the key guys for this squad. He's been good pressuring the main scorers on the opposing teams. He's been solid backing up Fofo at the lead PG spot.
LBA getting it back, but they got a lot of work to do. There's one guy that can help them with that. It's number 10 who just checked into the game. Okai Jamgoose, first time we've seen him in this second half. And right away, he has 2 red jerseys on him. Cummins. Now being guarded by Ade Falar and Ade again. Lee to Cummins. That's going to help. No good.
That looked like it was on the mark, too.
Henry. Hutchison. Fofo. Back up top. Henry, that's deep. Offensive rebound. Ade Falarin, Ade again, then turns it over. Okai Jamgoose. Tough pass for Cummins to be able to haul in. Sean Henry, his feet just got ahead of his mind. Knew what he wanted to do. Cummins. LBA still under 40 points in this game. 3 minutes into the fourth. That is a matchup you like if you're LBA, but Nkumsa can't finish over top of Fofo.
And the recognition from Cummins to realize that quickly enough to get the entry pass into Nkumsa, who, wow, flopped and got the call. He slid in pretty late there.
The Hounds bringing in some reinforcements. If there is a window of opportunity for LBA, it's right now. Dave Falar and Ade again is off the floor. Where last year, if that happened, it was a big deal for the Hounds. This year, not so much. With the emergence of Avery Hutchison.
And we haven't seen a whole lot of Carter Kahinka and Carter was a big time piece as well last year. Cole Newkirk as well. Like maybe it's just a matchup situation.
Yeah. When I think seeing Sholayak, buy into his role more of defensive stopper. I mean, I think we looked at him last year as like third scoring option, but now with Avery Hutchison doing what he does, and to an extent Greg Wint being able to kind of do it inside and out, all of a sudden you can look to Sholayak and his crazy athleticism and say, lock guys down. And he's been the guy on Denzel Cummins. And after those initial money balls from Cummins, Ayak has done his job. Hutchison working on Jamgoose. Looking for the Henry screen. Turnover. Cummins leaking out. Maybe that's going to help Okai out. I believe that's his first points of the game.
I think he just needs to see a couple fall in.
My mistake. Second basket of the game for Okai, now has 5. It's fun to watch Sean Henry work.
I mean, once he gets in the lane and there's a lot of guys that try to outbody him, but he's just got such a wide and strong base that once he establishes his position and the fact that he can maneuver so well, it's tough to stop him.
I think what it is too is like every move he makes has a purpose.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this, especially in this age range, a lot of times like there's wasted movements. So when you see a kid that doesn't do that, When everything has a purpose, everything is done with aggression, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Because you can work with that, like you were saying. When you're talking about the next level, like, you know, he needs work still, obviously, but he has everything that you want to work with. And I mean, it's still early in the season, right? Head coach
Lots
Adam
of basketball
Huffman.
left.
Yep, calling a timeout, 5:30 to go here. Leads down to 17. Deshaun Henry takes a shot from the ref. We'll be back.
Division 6 has a new member in the courtyard, with Roe Russell bringing Crestwood Prep onto the scene with the type of big-time talent you would expect with top players from every upcoming class. That includes Jacoby Neath, a shifty and athletic guard who is a treat to watch and is firmly entrenched in the top 5 of the class of 2019. With a roster full of young blood with tons of potential, Crestwood Prep will be a team to watch in their expansion season in the NPA. One of last year's heavyweights of the Southeast Division was the Toronto Basketball Academy, who will look to continue their winning ways with their trademark run-and-gun style. Known for their length and athleticism, TBA graduated some of their stars from last season, but they have talent waiting in the wings. As fan favorite Cordell Vera exits the stage, in steps Marcus Masters, a high IQ point guard that can also shoot out the lights. While the loss of Jace Colley will be filled by the reliable Patrick Emlin and Amir Golizadeh, 2 key players from last year's squad who have been waiting for their time to shine. TBA is all about highly skilled, interchangeable players that give this team the type of depth that will pose problems for all of their opponents.
17-point lead for the Hounds. They have been hanging on to that for a while. LBA just cannot get over this hump. Sitting at 41 points. They have some people who can get it going offensively, but I don't know if they have the answer against this Hounds team. We'll see in the next 5 minutes and 17 seconds. Kumsa, kick out. Isaiah Lee, no. Hounds have been all over the glass today too. No need to rush. Got the lead. You got time on your side. Deshaun Henry is taking a beating today. I think LBA is almost at this point feeling bad about how many times he's getting caught.
Halifax Prep and SJK set up for next game. Ain't no telling who's going to win that one. What I do know is that Jaron Johnson is one of the league's best PGs. Fresh off of an offer, by the way, yesterday, his first offer as a 2020 prospect from Eastern Florida. Pretty much a no-brainer.
Getting it back is Hutchison into the corner. Deshaun Henry. Carter Kahinka is getting his number called to get back in. Same with Dave Fuller and Date again. 3 on the shot clock for the Hounds. Cholayak will be inbounding on the baseline. Henry. Spin move. Don't think he needed the ball fake. LBA has got to get it going right now if it's going to happen. Cummins to Lee. Kai Jamgoose is met by his shadow. Yeah, you're not going to get that call. The bench is up. The bench is up. LBA is within 13, but it probably feels like 2 to these guys because they've been behind all game long. They have the energy. No good.
And Carter's coming off the bench very cold. First shot of the game, or first shot of the half pretty much for him, happens to be a 3. And you hear coach in the background, we put you in to rebound.
Hard to rebound from the 3-point line. Lee and Kumsa. LBA has now got some juice. Hutchison working on Jamgoose. And here's Jamgoose's opportunity to play some defense because he's been silent offensively. Fofo finds a cutting Jashawn Henry. Jashawn Henry is gonna need an ice bath after this one. Getting bounced around. I haven't seen so many high fives between an opposing player and an opposing team as I've seen between Jashawn Henry. He has the respect of this London Basketball Academy because they know they've been laying the lumber on him at every opportunity.
Well, it shows also his physical maturity and his mental maturity. Most of the time when a kid gets hit that much in a game, he's eventually set to tweak. But he kept himself composed.
Josh and Kumsa just fouled out of this game.
Can you explain the call? I don't understand.
Called it as an intentional foul on Kumsa.
I think the refs are kind of backing up Jashawn, and they're kind of sick of seeing him get thrown to the ground. You got to keep in mind too, it's not easy to throw someone like Jashawn. So if he is falling with that kind of force, that means he's being driven to the ground. There's a lot of force involved in it.
That really hurt the momentum that was starting to move the way of London Basketball Academy. Henry to the rim. Look at Ade Fuller and Ade again battling cramps. Still there to get the rebound. Fofo working on Denzel Cummins. Trying to muscle his way to the rim. Throws it out of bounds. That's just what LBA needed. Under 3 to go, stuck 12. They needed a stop, they got it. Cummins. What do you know? Started the game as the guy. In crunch time, who do you go for? Denzel Cummins.
You got to keep going to him. He seems to be the only one that can create for himself and find scoring opportunities.
Switching on the screen. Coming up with the steal, Isaiah Lee. Jamgoose runs into Fofo. They had numbers. Ayak gets back. Angelo Provenzano wants a timeout. LBA is going to talk it over. They're already having a chat on the floor. 2:22 to go. Stay with us. The conclusion coming up.
Has to back out. Now he's got a little space to operate. Nice pass. Wow. Oh, what a nice pass.
Kevin read a book called Long Shot, a story about Steve Nash. I can connect it with Steve's story a lot, not comparing them, but just the whole idea that when Nash won the MVP, the next day, his first MVP, the next day he says, now I really have to prove myself. And that's what the good ones do. Is they're constantly striving for better and better and better. And you know, kids that are grade 9, grade 10, they're very good, but they're just starting. And they need to understand that you're good, but you're just starting, and just never be satisfied. Keep working. And I think that that's what Kevin really taught me in writing the book, is about how it's never be satisfied. Just keep going. And that's what the can't miss philosophy is about too.
Pangos has to back out. Now he's got a little space to operate. Nice pass. Wow. Oh, what a nice pass.
Kevin read a book called Long.
Back out to Pangos. Got it again. Pangos is knocking out all these open threes.
Kevin and I have a relationship that was formulated when I was one of the coaches at Camp Olympia that he could talk to and he could relate to, and we'd do workouts together, whatever it might be. And then it evolved into the admiration of he knew that I knew where he wanted to go. But I was one of those coaches that we're at another level that Kevin was after, and he could get information from me. He's 17 years old when I first proposed this to him and his parents. A 17-year-old kid.
Twos across the board on the clock. 10 is the deficit. LBA, stop me if you've heard this before, need another stop.
I forgot to stop you. Because they're going to need more than a few.
Yeah.
I know it's only a 10-point game, but Notre Dame has controlled this thing from start to finish.
Much like the game before this, team trailing just hasn't been able to get over that hump.
31's out, 5 fouls? Okay, all right. So 31 has 5 fouls, coach. 31's had 5 fouls. Yes. From the last call. Yeah, from the last call. Yeah. From the last call. Okay. 5 fouls. It was 0. Hey, when did it happen?
No, it was 31. The last one. The last
no, I'm supposed to like it was 0. So I just saw you fouled it. No, the foul that happened down here.
They're just talking it over, and it was Nkumsa throwing Deshaun Henry to the ground to pick up that foul earlier. That was his 5th. Fofo working for a technical, not going to get it.
Here we go.
10-point lead, 2:15 to go. Ade Falarin, Ade again. Over to Sholayak, back. Wide open in the corner is Wint. I wish he took it, considering it resulted in a turnover on the travel. Head coach Adam Huffman staring a hole through that scoreboard, seeing that 10-point lead. LBA needs to make their bread right now. A heartbreaking loss to Central Tech yesterday. This would not make them happy. To picking up 2 L's here to start their Ottawa session.
Not at the rim, step up. You should be there at the elbow, playing up the lane. 14. Cool, stay with the inbounder, trail under.
Kaur up top. They're looking to run Okai Jamgoos off the screens, but he's not available. Denzel Cummins. Just call him clutch.
Brings it down to a 7-point game under 2 minutes.
Fofo to Hutchison. Back to Ade again. Sent back, gets it back, and again Kaur with the block. So Fofo steps back. Deshaun Henry skying. The Hounds will
That boy
not
is
let
just
this
too
one.
strong, Jason. Who's going to stop him on his way to the rim? Once he gets 2 feet in the paint, he's either finishing strong or he's going to the line. There's no other way about it.
You know, I was saying that he's going to need an ice bath after this game, but I think some of the LBA guys are going to need some ice packs as well, because Henry has been bouncing off those guys. Some big bodies for LBA, but they're being left with dents in them. That's going to have Deshaun Henry's John Hancock all over it. He's been good from the line today too. Bad time for him to start missing. 1:18 to go with 7-point lead. Just right on the edge of a comfortable lead for the Hounds. Second one's pure. Timeout, LBA. 1:18 to go. Stay with us. We'll be back with the end of this one. SJK and Beast on deck.
6 years running. Canada's basketball talent blossoms right before our eyes. From coast to coast. It's our job to bring it to the light. No gimmicks, just hard work on the hardwood. Who will step up to the plate this summer? Who will make their game undeniable and challenge every man in front of him? Game will speak.
NPH events. There's an opportunity to get involved at the ground level. NPH hosts elite level high school tournaments to national club team championships throughout the course of the season. Now is your chance to get involved with the fastest growing sport in Canada with the industry leaders and influencers. Get in the game today and join NPH in growing basketball in this country.
We're back live, 1:18 to go in the fourth, an 8-point lead. LBA looking to trim. Cummins running off the screen. Oh, execution of Angelo Provenzano's play did not go well. Hounds will get it back here.
We'll slide a bit. Hey, stop. Jay.
Henry gets it pretty deep, goes to the baseline. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Sean Henry going to the line to shoot two.
Block 11, arm, 2 shots.
Making a living at the line today. And the shot's not falling for him either, so this is played to his advantage.
First was sweet, second not so much. Hutchison. Big time three.
And these guys always find themselves in close games, and again, another team that doesn't stop battling right to the end. LBA shot makers on the perimeter.
Call your checks right now.
Cummins tried to poke that one away. Instead, he picked up the foul. He's racking them up in the second half here.
And every LBA foul at this point is going to send one of the Hounds to the line. We're in the bonus here. 55 seconds to go with a 6-point lead.
And Henry with the offensive rebound. No whistle. Hounds get it back. Foul there. Xavier Scott misses the first. Misses them both. The lead's only at 6. LBA a sliver of hope with 45 seconds to go. There's 2 guys who are going to take this shot. It's either Denzel Cummins, short. Dave Falarin pulls it down. They need a foul. Oh, almost came up with the steal. Just Sean Henry. Once again, another intentional. Deshaun Henry, I want to know how many times he has been fouled today.
I am so...
Look, he's looking at his arms.
I'm just thoroughly impressed at how composed he's been throughout all this contact.
Henry making him pay at the line. And the second.
Now, if they score on this possession, it should be in the hands of the Hounds.
Hounds don't have hands, they got paws.
Oh, my bad.
Even without a whistle, Henry is getting mauled. And it's still going the way of the Hounds. 23 seconds to go. Just really feels like LBA is not going to have enough time to pull anything off here down the stretch. Sean Henry going to the line, shooting his 74th and 75th free throws of the game.
Yeah, he's getting quite comfortable and familiar.
The fourth time he's getting a sportsmanlike foul? I don't think this game can end soon enough. I think it's just getting a little bit chippy, and no one's trying to hurt anybody, but I think the Hounds have seen enough of this. Fouling of one of their star players. I choose my words wisely. Goes back to the line. These are just intentional fouls now, 20 seconds to go.
Kid's making a living at the line. Now, if he can improve his shooting percentage from the free throw line, and which will essentially help from the field as well, Deshaun's due for some 30-point plus games. He has about 28 now. I'm not shooting the greatest percentage from the free throw line.
Cummins pulls up, no good. Rebound, Fofo. 5 seconds to go, they're gonna hold on to it. It's a game, 65-55, hard fought down to the end. Deshaun Henry giving out some hugs despite everything he went through in this game, showing his respect for his opponents. Appreciate that. A 10-point win for the Hounds. They remain undefeated here in the Battle of the Capital. We'll be back. SJK Halifax Prep on deck. Stay with us.